On the table today at Squirrel Stampede, what's this I'm hearing about? Crystalynx Dragons. Dragons are back on the table 2025, a year full of dragons. Not to forget though, this Lego Sonic the Hedgehog Bio Lizard. This is upcoming next as the poll was huge, like over 60% wanted to see that. We're just trying to catch up to all the commotion. But it's all about Crystalynx Dragons today, linking together a bunch of colorful dragons found in eggs. Do we or do we not find the full collection, and do we or do we not combine them all together into some sort of giant intestinal dragon structure? Ugh. So follow through as we introduce another interesting collection of dragons onto the table.
Squirrel Stampede!
Please like,
Share!
and Squirrel Live!
This is a Crystalynx Dragons egg from Spin Master. There's 10 to collect of various colors, and then even the possibility of rare twins inside. A little bit spendy with the toy inflation wars costing $15 per egg. What? But perhaps picking up a couple, mix and match, combine to form different forms of dragons. It's got a good colorful egg case, I'll give it that, and maybe a code on the bottom too. I'm pulling from a series of numbers, and the last numbers here, this 35, I think I've seen numbers go from 34 all the way up to maybe 43. Maybe more, maybe less, depending on how many 10 of dragons you can find. Ah, the first zipper pull of the year. Ah, satisfying. And the outer layer, with a second layer. There really is never one pull tab, is there? And I have uncovered possibly an aqua egg, blue on the base and aqua up top, very striking in the light. Very striking, reflects upon it our eyes. And breaking open, beholds an aqua spiky dragon. It's kind of cool how they encase these in little plastic coverings inside, even with the little barcode there, as if they were trying to decide how are we going to keep these in track. And our first dragon awaits. And so what do we have here? A very spiny, segmented, linked together Dragonlynx dragon. What does this remind you of, maybe? I'm thinking those 3D printed dragons that are really quite popular right now. It's funny to think that the 3D print industry is starting to take on the mainstream toy makers, that they have to feel like we better make some toys that look like 3D printed toys too. It is a really fun and satisfying linked up toy here, and the colors are looking really good. Look how shiny, look at how reflective the aquos is on top of the back of the blue. It's got a lot of character to this little guy. I like it. It's kind of fun. Certainly more molded rubbery in its construction than, say, the harder plastic 3D print layering that you will see, but really quite interesting. Look at all these chains. Curious how we are going to unlink this one. How many segments are even on this? It must be at least 30 segments of dragon as it continues on and on and on. What do we have for the Crystalynx Dragon Guide? There is a very colorful dragon egg collection going through a full spectrum of colors. There's golds and oranges and purples, reds, greens, blues, and even these doubles. In 2 out of the 10 egg options, you will find the rare twins, perhaps. I picked up many of these, but I wasn't really hitting hard for the whole collection, as they are, again, 15 a piece is pretty steep. And as for sensory and fidgetiness, pretty fun to wiggle across the table and or just hold in your hands. Just watch out, they can be a little bit spiky. So that was a 35 egg. Let's pull from the other side of the spectrum. I think this egg here is the highest number I have found at 43, I believe. I wonder if you could weigh these, if the twins are in the same size as what we just opened and would weigh a little bit heavier. That's hard to tell. Or if they're smaller and match about the same. Okay, 43, let's unlock your secrets. Ooh, already intrigued. It's got a little bit of a purple sparkle. It could be this one right here, but it could also be that one. Let's see though, let's see. Well, this is a very striking and reflective egg. You can see a ton of sparklage coming off the diamondish part of the top of the egg, the upper egg, and then going down to a more more of a purplish red. I don't know. Hard to tell with the shaking. Let's give it an open though. Crack in this one and we will find the guide. And on the other side, we found twins! We found a rare set of twins, but they are smaller. So that would indeed throw the weight of these eggs off if you were thinking, oh, twins would be 2 of them. It's actually 2 smaller ones. And really quite lovely. Oh, they're so cute. It's like little babies. Just nestling and coiling up around your stomach intestines when you accidentally ate them. So these cutie little baby dragons go up to about only 11 body segments after the head and in between the tail. So 11 segments going through here. Whereas when I counted up the segments on the adult dragon, in between the head and tail there are 24 sections. So about half the size, but a double dragon is always a fantastic pull. To distinguish these two, they've got different eye colors. A little bit of yellow here, a little bit of turquoise there, and the head shape, I believe, is basically the same. I'm not seeing too many differences yet on these. Maybe the tail features will flare out a little bit. These two have kind of like a little bit of a fiery tail in a way. This tail feels a little bit different, whereas this tail with the adult was kind of a fan blade. They're really quite fun though. It's fun to get a double pack. I didn't think that would happen the way I pull things sometimes. So that was a 43. Let's kind of pull from the center. I'd like to find something red. I found a lot of turquoisey things. I'd like to see something very bright and fiery. I don't know if that'll be my luck or not. Pulling from this one, we will discover a very defective pull zipper. Ah, got it. Oh, there we go. There's something really bright. The golden dragon. Very quite happening.
Bonk.
Oh, this one has so much character with the color of the gold. Nothing is more fancy. And I'm seeing a different head structure. That is good. I was worried some of these heads were always going to be the same. All right, come on. Come on, buddy. Get out of there. The way they hold in your hand, sometimes they can feel very lifelike. Very lifelike. The way their hands reach out on their front there, and then the back legs kind of flip around. A little bit of a burgundy color on the base, and then just this striking gold up on top. And you can see there is some head differences here. So we've got some big ears, if you want to call it. Yeah, big dragon ears on gold with some spines. And the blue aqua here has some more spiny ear type things from atop. Oh, we've got to figure out how to link these two together, don't we? Yeah, blue says yeah.
Yeah.
Now these chains feel pretty tight. I have yet to have breakage, so I'm a little worried about here. The only place it says mix and match is on the package, and they often indicate right after those back legs, so let's go up in there. Really don't want to break our new Goldie. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's like a little C-clip and a round clip. I would imagine that would be the whole dragon, wouldn't you say? Can we break apart center? Oh, we can. So it's little C-clips going down the back, and then you will be able to click and match and switch. So let's switch tails here. Let's switch golden tails. This is where some really fun radical customization can happen. So let's switch out this. Now we've got a blue turquoise golden dragon tail. They just snap together so perfectly. So, and then now a front gold with a turquoise back tail. And if you really get clever, oh, you could just sort of segment these all up. We'll have to try a little bit of that as we continue on. So there we have two very interesting combos of gold and turquoise and gold. I imagine the customization is quite limitless with the more color dragons you get. And what else can we find? Before I pulled these three back there, I did a test run and I pulled this really fancy blue one. This was a 34, I believe, a 34. A nice dragon blue, deep blue egg with a midnight dragon inside, very nice. Head shape though seems very similar. I guess depending on what you are pulling, you may find some similar dragon heads. It's more about the color, I think, and mixing those up. Okay, I've got two more eggs I'd like to try out. Again, they're a little spendy, so it just didn't feel right to spend all 10 or hunt for all 10. Okay, And it would be our green dragon with maybe a very similar headpiece again to what we saw with blue and aqua, but now shiny emerald green with maybe a base of brown copper. This one seems quite friendly. There's no bios on these. We don't know really anything about their names or color. It's all about us. We'll name this one Albert. It looks like an Albert to me, and will fall nicely spinally into the collection. Now it appears with these three, all heads are the same and all segmented body pieces are the same. You can kind of see them branching out in a mirrored way. Whereas Goldie here, definitely a certainly different head and a certainly different fiery body segmented system going for it. Hard to see from this tiny little guide, but I do believe everything up here and here have the fire golden dragon look, and everything down this corner has more of the spiky look. So whatever we open next, we should get either a red or a purple or maybe even an orange to verify this theory of dragon pieces. In an attempt to find another color, let's check our final egg. This is a 38. Ooh, and I do believe we found the blood red dragon. Is that too terrifying of a name? How about the red icy dragon? Yum, cherry flavor. This one should be really fun to juxtapose against the other dragons with a really striking red color. Ruby of fire. Perfectly for mixing and matching. Look at that red shine on these eggs. And inside we find, whoa! It's not just red fire, but it's also almost a little bit of fuchsia in there. Fuchsia red black dragon, very fantastic. Meet our new friend of the channel, Mabel. It's always Mabel, isn't it? Wow, and so this definitely is another shape, the other body type shape that we saw with gold. And just spiky and goldy as ever, and fuchsia, and a little bit of pink and some light, mostly. Oh, it's a beauty. What a fun looking Dragonlynx. Definitely highly collectible. You kind of just start wanting more and more colors as you're opening these up. And just the way they hold in your hand, sometimes you can kind of hold them funny, like they're just grabbing onto you. Almost like those old fingerlings of a few years back where they're just really playfully, handfully enjoying being held. So that there is a pretty good collection of pulls of Crystalynx Dragons. A pretty good color spectrum selection of dragons, a couple fire types, a few spiky types, and a couple twins. And most satisfyingly sticked out like this looks good for some reason. I suppose I could hunt down and complete the collection by looking for orange, purple, and frost dragons, but I'm pretty satisfied with this collection so far. And now I want to kind of mess this up and do a little more linking. I noticed, or maybe it was one of the other dragons taunting me of my demise, that many of these links are actually numbered. So let's break apart right after the legs here. You'll see that right there at the back here, there is a number 2. What's behind that? A number 1. And what would the head say? Would it matter? Probably not. No, it would not matter. But the links are numbered. The front legs must be a number 3. That they are. And then a 4, 5, 6, 7 on the back legs, 8, 9, 10, 11, and well, so forth. All the way to the final 24th segment. And we now have our green dragon completely disassembled into multiple pieces of dragon scalage. What's a good color to mix this one up with? So many choices of color. Like the gold and the green could be really striking together. That feels like a very tight dragon color scheme. I think I want to try mixing spikes with flames though. And the red and green might be a real nice Christmassy dragon-like look. Oh boy, when you do this, try not to be so unorganized as like I am right now. Or you're going to be spending great time trying to get all these numbers back in correct order. Whoops. Alright, I think I've got this organized most accurately. I've got to choose the head. I think I like the green dragon's head a little better, so we'll work with that one. Popping off this one and removing this first segment, I could then switch on over to this segment and begin the every other segment connections. And when doing a mix like this, it might be best to lay out the parts in sequence. That way you can get all your numbers in correct order. And I've noticed there's just a little slight differences in size between the fire and the spikes. Sometimes they do not feel exactly matched up. Anyhow, let's continue to build the new green mix. And beholdeth a powerful mix of the green and red fuchsia dragons. Woo, that was a little bit technical, just keeping all the piece numbers in order and trying not to flip the little rings across the room when they combine together. Sometimes they slip apart. She's looking quite assorted now with the green and the red mismatching throughout. They're contrasting pretty well together. The red feels kind of like an extra power-up. And it's interesting to see the back and forth between the spikes and the flames, albeit a little bit difficult to construct together. But once it's through, it's a very rewarding dragon experience. So then if I wanted to, I could combine the other half of this dragon color fuchsia green system together, but they would be pretty much common dragon cousins. So I want to try something a little bit different. I want to see what a double-sized dragon turns out to look like. So we're going to take this one apart again, doing our best to keep all our colors in sequence, all our numbers in sequence, I should say. Now I'll just piece together all the 1s and 2s and 3s and so forth all down the line, and we'll make a double-sized dragon. I do have to make the difficult decision of which head. I gotta just say I like the green one just a little bit better, but I still want to make sure to vary this back and forth. So there is the purple number 1 and then the green number 1. Now, doubling up may cause an issue with the hooks and loops lining up because odds and evens have the hooks and loops flipped. So we're going to have to play around a little bit, maybe switch 1s and 2s and 3s up a little bit as we go down the line. So now what have I done? I have created a mismatched ultra double long Dragonsync green and fuchsia red dragon. And obviously a little bit awkward because when you're mixing 1s and 1s and 2s and 2s, they are not flipping back and forth, so you get kind of like this rotational thing where the dragon's rotating awkwardly every other link. And I think I added an extra set of legs on this one. So it might be best when doing a super long dragon is to not switch back and forth as often as I did. Maybe just do some large color sections, which we will try here in just a second. But wow, what an interesting looking thing. A regular dragon runs at approximately 12 inches or a foot, and well, our double mixture dragon here goes all the way up to about 21 inches, minus a couple of those segments we had left over. That is wildly weird and looks highly uncomfortable. So I'm going to take this one all back apart, get it back into what it's supposed to be, and all back together. I wouldn't totally recommend doing this as it took quite a while and a lot of bit of patience to get all those number sequences in order. The payoff was a little bit discombobulated, but what I do maybe recommend might be a little easier is just to do this in color sections. So maybe we'll break off another section here after I just completed getting it back together, and let's try adding in some gold and then breaking out some turquoise, maybe keeping extra legs on to keep those hooks and loops lining up. Some green now. Is this the definition of a mad scientist? Pretty sure this happened in How to Train Your Dragon 5. Am I right about that, Hiccup? My favorite color, I think, is really starting to be this red fuchsia out of all of them. But nothing also beats midnight blue. It's probably a good thing for humanity that I did not collect all color sets. And now things are getting way mixed up. I don't even know if I have these going in the proper direction now. I'm just trying to get the colors to go back and forth as best as I can. Oh, this is gonna take me forever to get them back to how they should be. I've got this like pile forming over here on the right, and this on the left. Now you two are gonna be really lucky. For the sake of sanity, I'm gonna leave you guys out of this, as I can't imagine trying to sort out the twins' miniature piece numbers along with all these big guys. I'm so thankful these are numbered, but it's still gonna take me forever to get them back apart. Time to get the Squirrel Stampede bifocals out. And now, because of the way I'm doing this, you're going to see some segments get really fluffy fat, and some segments getting pretty thinny loose. I feel like at the end of the dragon, I need to add a few more legs. Ah, my good friend Mr. McGreg. A leg for an arm, and an arm for a leg. Maybe that string fruit back there, Barry, will help me string these dragons together. Almost done here. There's not too much to link left. It's good that all the links and hooks are the same scale throughout the whole dragon, so you can continuously mix and match as long as the hooks and loops line up odd and even like. But even then, you can mix that up. The hardest part now is who gets the tail? Who gets to decide what is the back end of the dragon, or do we just go the front end? I think it has to be a tail, and I'm almost out of pieces. This is a tough call, but I like both green and blue panel flannel tail pails. Methinks I'm gonna go with the green though. And so then, there we go. I believe I have all the colors that I could possibly find at the moment with the 5 or 4, how many dragons? How long does this dragon go for? Ah, there's the head. What do we possibly name this guy? Now, because it is not every dragon links connected together, it can't be the large intestine. So I'm gonna go with small intestine. Everybody meet small intestine, the dragon. This is what he looks like. Oh no, he's all tied up. Quick, get small intestine some Pepto-Bismol. There we go. Okay, so this is the ultimate in Dragon Link's technology. I didn't even know how to stand this one. Small intestine is all over the place. He is filling up the entire screen with his intestines. Wow! I mean, look at this! Look at this! If you would have asked me 5 years ago, hey Squirrel Stampede, in 2025 you are going to be linking together about 5 or 6 of these Dragonlynx Dragons to make the ultimate intestine small of dragon, I would have said you're crazy. But here it is. There's intestines, small intestines, the dragon. Oh, small intestines, the dragon, everyone, our new best friend at the channel. Wow, this must be at least 4 feet long? What would you say? How long is this? Take my trusty tape measure here, and small intestine is approximately, yes, 4 feet long. 4 feet long of intestines, everyone. Whoa! And look at how decorative it is. We go from that fuchsia red, gold, aqua, green, fuchsia red, blue, gold, aqua, fuchsia red, blue, green, gold, fuchsia, aqua, green. Oh, I'm getting mixed up now. Green, purple. I don't have purple. And aqua, gold, aqua, fuchsia, blue, and a tail. That is one of the coolest things we built here at the channel. Oh boy. That is small intestines, the dragon. How am I supposed to get this back into their basic forms of dragon links? They weren't kidding when they said these linked together. Have fun, have with your will. May the Dragon Links Eggs Lords protect you, guide you through your linking processes, help you with your sequential number matching, and uh-oh. Oh no, my hands! My hands seem to be wrapped in small intestines! No, I can't get out, I can't break free! I've been Dragon Linked myself into the dragon! Oh no! Oh! So like I said at the beginning, we've got Lego Sonic the Hedgehog, the Bio Lizard, coming on up very much next, with possibly a very, very special surprise in that episode. But so much more to uncover, like these mini mode potion bottles. Mr. Beast is back with the second round of swarms, this time atomic, and dropping most amazing, a Treasure X shark dissection. What? Lots to do. Upcoming things here at Squirrel Stampede. Don't forget to give us a squike, a squirrel live, a squammet on what you think about these dragon links. We've got Squirrel Stampede merch out there. Thank you so much for watching. That's what I have to say about that.